what our buddy on the APEC VIP hotline, cutting edge training for the serious athlete, apecgo.com. Donovan Lewis from 1310 The Ticket was busy moonlighting today, I guess, or daylighting or whatever you would call it. Did you actually judge the fried food competition at the state fair today?
I did. I did it yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Labor
Day.
How was it?
It was great. You know, it was my third time in 4 years. They told me the second time I went that they had no repeat judges, and then I guess they wanted me to take a year off for my arteries done fog, and then they asked me back for this year. But yeah.
All right, so I saw where the deep-fried jambalaya won the prize Monday. Did you try that?
Oh, I did. I tried them all, and the jambalaya was absolutely fantastic.
Deep-fried jambalaya. Now, growing up in South Louisiana, this made me, I wanted to weep when I saw this, okay? Just telling you.
You know, you have to try everything. Just when you think they've run out, they come up with new stuff, and man, it was really good. It was the belle of the ball. It was the best by far.
All right, now was there anything that you put in your mouth that you started looking around for someplace to try to discreetly spit it out without anybody seeing you?
You know, there are the 3 times that I've done it, you had a couple of entries that were just not appealing. And this year, that wasn't the case. Everything was edible. I didn't want to spit anything out, but the difference is that every time you take a bite, there are cameras all in your face, and they want you to look in the camera and take a bite. And I remember my mom told me not to ever play with my food, but man, every time you took a bite, you had to be so discreet. And you know, I'm an ugly eater. I eat just, you know, I just pile it all in and pile it down. So I have to be a very cute eater yesterday, and I didn't appreciate that.
Well, I'm sorry you got inconvenienced like that, but I have to ask you, what do the chicken fried cactus bites taste like?
They were okay. It kind of puts you in the mind of like the crispy green bean fries. Have you ever had those?
Yeah, or like fried okra or anything like that?
Something like that. It was okay. It wasn't you know, like I said, it wasn't the belle of the ball like the fried jambalaya. The one that won most creative was the bacon cinnamon roll.
I was just about to ask about that.
Yeah,
how was that?
That was very interesting. You know, I've probably had a piece of bacon while eating a cinnamon roll before and didn't think anything of it. But when you put the two together, it just does something in your mind that makes it a little weird. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was very creative, and that's why I won the most creative. But it was quite an odd combination, to tell you the truth.
Who were your fellow judges?
There was a state representative. His name is Eric Johnson.
Somebody that we want to die, or what?
No, I don't think so. I think you want him to live. And
okay.
Then there was a female reporter from Univision who got all the attention because she was smoking hot.
I bet.
You know, hey, you know, that's fine with me. You know, if you want to watch her eat, I was sneaking a peek watching her eat also.
Let me guess, she was in there in a dress that was painted on her about a half hour before the competition, right?
Not exactly. The dress wasn't loose, but it wasn't as tight as the chick that was in the New York Jets locker room. I can't remember her name. But,
yeah.
I never quite got to her name. I couldn't get past the jeans. Yeah, no, but she was real nice, and everybody. I love that thing. I tell you what, if they asked me to come back every single year, I would go back every single year to do it. It's awesome. I love it.
That's awesome. Okay, and one last thing I got to ask about with the food is the fried pork wing. What the heck is that?
It's almost like a pork chop on a stick. It's not as thin as a pork chop. It's a thicker cut of meat. But I tell you what, it looks when she put it down in front of me, set it in front of me. I thought I was going to have to chew for days, you know, like rubbery and all that. It looked tough, but as soon as you bit into it, it was quite tender. Wasn't bad at all, man. I'm telling you, everything was pretty good this time. The tres leches, the deep fried tres leches cake, was divine.
Wow.
That was heavenly, but the jambalaya just nudged it out. That was really good also.
All right, now the question is, now you how long did you take to try all these things?
We were done in about an hour. Okay. And you know what? The best advice I ever got, the first time I judged it, she put it in front of me, she leaned over and said, you don't have to eat it all, dear. And I was like, okay, good. That's good. Just take a couple bites, let it go, and then bring on something else. See, I think the other judges were trying to eat everything, and they don't have the experience like I do.
There you go, man. See, a veteran
right,
foodie.
Right.
I like that.
I'm more of the Peyton Manning of this eating contest.
Oh, audible. Okay.
Right. Kind of stood and pointed a little bit, so they like, put it right there, hot round. Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask, after you did that the first time, what was the aftermath of that like for you?
In the radio game for a long time, and my family didn't hardly pay any attention to it. But the first year I judged that, you would have thought I won the lottery or something. They were so happy, like I finally made it. He's finally done something with his life. It's like, okay, I've been working in radio for a really long time, but my family, they are fairgoers to the core, so they just absolutely loved it. As a matter of fact, my mom went with me yesterday. She was in hog heaven up there, man, watching me eat all that stuff. She was pretty proud, man. I'm telling you, it's funny that she was really proud of me being in an eating contest.
Hey, dude, I'm sitting here looking at the video on the Dallas Morning News, this video of you trying all this stuff out. I'm going, I know this guy. This is cool.
Yeah, I was in the house, man, so I keep telling them, hey, man, but no, it's big fun, man. I love it.
No, that's great. Well, congratulations for being a 3-time judge. Because
thank you.
Do they retire you now, or are they going to bring you back?
I hope they bring me back, but if they don't ever bring me back, if I don't go in the Ring of Honor, let me tell you, I'm going to cause some havoc. I'm going to do something bad to somebody if I'm not in the State Fair Ring of Honor. Deal.
All right, got it. Okay, well, you had a nice warm up. You ought to be in fighting shape then to get ready to snack down tomorrow night when the Giants and the Cowboys play. So, what do you see for tomorrow night now?
Oh man, you just kind of. I think I'm so ready for football, Bryan. I've been going over this in my head, trying to see how I'm going to play it out. And it seems as though every conclusion is not going to go well for the Cowboys, especially when you look back over the last few years and how the Giants have just absolutely dominated Dallas. And I don't know if Dallas has gotten any better to stop the bleeding. You know, they've gotten really, really good at corner with Carr and Claiborne, but can they get pressure on Eli? Bob Sturm had a fact today that I didn't even know about. I've been on vacation. I wasn't hardly even thinking about it, but he said that over the last, 6 games or whatnot, the Cowboys have sacked Eli 4 times. That's it.
Wow.
4 times. And while the other teams in the NFC East have gotten to them double-digit times, the Cowboys have only sacked him 4 times. And I don't care how good your corners are. If you can't get pressure on the quarterback, your corners are gonna look ordinary because they can't cover that long. So they've got to. And you know what? Out of those 4 sacks, DeMarcus Ware has 3.5 of those sacks on Eli Manning. So if someone else besides DeMarcus Ware can't get any pressure, if they can't control the line of scrimmage tomorrow, defensively and offensively, I think it's just going to be the same result. And the things that they've done this past year to get ready, have they gotten better at controlling the line of scrimmage on the other side? Only time will tell. I don't think so. I don't think they've all of a sudden, especially with Ratliff out.
Well, I was going to ask you, how's Ratliff's absence going to make this worse or better?
You know what? He's a guy that can get to the quarterback. Now, you take him out of the mix and listen more, he's okay. He's steady. But do you trust him getting to the quarterback? I don't think so. Spencer is good against the run and he can cover, but do you trust him getting at the quarterback? I don't think so. So everyone out there, you just don't see where all of a sudden you're going to get the pressure on Eli that they haven't gotten before unless someone steps up. And then on the other side of the ball, where the Giants just absolutely have been just dragging Romo to the ground each and every time he goes back to pass, have they gotten better at protecting Romo? Do you believe in the 2 new guards? I don't know. We don't know. We haven't seen them hardly yet because they've been hurt and haven't been in games. So unless they wave some magic Mr. Miyagi dust around there, you just kind of expect this thing to kind of be the same thing. If Romo is having to run for his life, then the Cowboys are going to be in trouble. If Eli can just stand back there and survey the scene and pick apart anyone he wants to pick apart, and it's going to be the same thing.
Well, we were talking about this earlier. We think that we've got a new drinking game right now where if Romo takes a snap and he has the ball, if you can count to 3 and he still has the ball in his hands, you take a drink, and if you're hammered by midway through the first quarter, they lose by 3 touchdowns.
You know what? You might be right about that. You might be right, and I think there might be several times where if he's going to get rid of the ball, he's going to have to dump it off, and guess where his safety valve is going to be? He's going to be on the sidelines in street clothes.
Yeah.
Jason Witten, and that, do you trust Phillips and Hannah, and do you trust that Miles Austin can play 4 quarters? Can they go the whole game?
Oh, man.
Who knows? You don't think so. So you may be counting on Ogletree and Harris and Beasley to go out there and make plays against that Giants defense. And on the surface, it just doesn't look good. Now, if Miles and Daz can stay in the game and they can be effective, and the offensive line can give Romo just a little bit of time to do his thing, then they'll have a fighting chance. But those are some big ifs, man.
You're not kidding. It's scary stuff. Now, the other thing we were talking about is if you're sitting there with a situation where your safety blanket in Jason Witten is not in the ball game, okay, and you've got guys that are presumably healthy in Des Bryant and Miles Austin. Now, you figure without Witten, they're going to double-team Des every play, right? Okay. Which means you got another guy with a bulky hamstring being your main guy on the other side in Austin. And I'm guessing tomorrow night, if all this is working out the way I'm thinking it's going to work out, I'm thinking that DeMarco Murray may catch 38 dump-offs tomorrow night.
He just might. And he'll tote the rock about 15, 16 times. So, yeah, he's going to be a workhorse. You're right. You're just going to sit back and hope, as Cowboy fans, hope that Miles can stay healthy and he's up to speed, and Des Bryant can go 4 quarters. Because when was the last time you've seen Des Bryant effective in the second half? I don't know, so he's going to have to change his thing, and with that injury, you don't know if that slowed it down or not, because he wasn't in condition last year when he was healthy before he got hurt. So those just a lot of question marks, but you know what? As the cliche goes, that's why they play the game, and you just never know. You never know if the Giants are going to go in so confident, because Dallas is beat up a little bit, that Dallas can't come into our house and beat us. I don't care what's going on. You just never know. So he's got to go out there and hope that this offensive line can get some duct tape and something on those gloves and hold off those Giants just enough where Romo can look downfield and try to do a little something, because you just figure that they can't run on New York. I don't think you can. You got to have Romo to do something, but will he have the weapons?
Good question. I don't know. Hey, of all the college uniforms over the weekend, all these alternate uniforms and so forth, which ones did you like? Which ones did you hate?
I didn't watch a lot of college football this weekend. I was hearing about all those alternate jerseys. I'll tell you the games that I watched this weekend, which might say something about me. I watched Baylor and SMU. I watched a lot of that.
All right, well, then you saw Baylor's uniforms. What do you think of them?
I'm so used to those colors being so crazy, like with Oregon, that it probably didn't even faze me a bit. I'm just maybe I'm desensitized to this. I just don't know. Okay. And I watched a little bit of Virginia Tech and Georgia Tech last night, especially that fourth quarter, because that fourth quarter was amazing.
That was a good football game last night. Yeah. Now, Georgia Tech, how'd you like those honeycomb uniforms they had last night?
You know what? And again, I guess they just. I think I was so football starved because I didn't hardly watch any over the weekend that I was just ready to watch a little football and didn't even pay attention to it.
Donovan, I think you had a coma last night from all that fried food, dude.
Right, I'm sitting on the couch just rubbing my belly. Don't care what's going on. I probably thought I was watching college football and I was watching a Mary Tyler Moore rerun or something. You just never know.
All right, well, next time you come to Gilmer, then when Mama-in-law fixes chicken fried steak or something like that, or chicken fried chicken, just tell her, no, I don't think I'll go for the grilled stuff this time.
Right. How about some rotisserie or something?
Exactly.
Let's go with that. I think I may have had my fill of fried food. You're right.
I don't blame you, buddy. Well, I'm glad you survived it. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and glad you lived to make it to this show today. That's the main thing.
I'm so looking forward to tomorrow. I'm just so happy that football is back, pro football is back, and just curious to see what these Cowboys are going to do. It's going to be interesting, man. I don't think this is going to set the tone for the year, but I'll tell you what, if they can somehow go up there and get a win or even just compete, and not just lay down, then I think things could look up for the Cowboys this year. I know a lot of people don't have a lot of optimism about this team in this year, but tomorrow can tell a little something, I think.
Well, I like your optimism. It gives me some hope, okay?
All right. I'll give you that. There you go.
I appreciate it. Hey, Donovan, it's great talking to you, man. Hope you have a great evening, and go Cowboys.
Thank you, and it's fried hope. I'm giving you hope, but it's
fried hope.
I put it in batter and I fried it, yeah.
Hey, it ought to be a winner then.
There you go.
All right, buddy. Have a great one. Donovan Lewis, 1310 to ticket. Easy for me to say. Whew. Wow. On Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM.